I actually have two clips that are so fucking perfect.
Mamdani is half Ugandan.
Yeah,
Could not know less.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't even know.
Born in Uganda, yes.
Yes, and goes back there.
Mm-hmm.
Summer home. I don't know what.
Summer home. I don't know why. Why would I know? Why would I know anything about what about the point I'm trying to make here?
But there's no movement on the left to get him to renounce that a little. The government of Uganda is like very officially, proudly on the page of, no, we got to kill the homosexuals.
Well,
it's just like it's
the brilliance of double standards. I mean, you keep score differently.
Wow.
What's the double standard?
I'm sure if you asked Mamdani today, he'd be like, yeah, that's really fucked up and I condemn it. Like, I don't see why he would defend that.
He went back for a wedding. Also, he's a summer home or something. He was like, no, he goes to see his family. Like, that's the whole reason. It's difficult to find a mayor.
Indian. He's a Ugandan Indian. He's not half Ugandan.
And he's like, it's probably tough to find more than a few mayors who would be like beloved within the LGBTQ community than Mamdani, like a more like obvious and vocal supporter of them. And these two guys just spent 20 minutes being like, trans people are like awful. They're destroying the country. And like, one of Mamdani's things he said during the campaign is he was like, no, like full-throated support for trans people all the way. And then these guys are like, also, I'm nitpicking here, but Uganda does have the law that homosexuality can be punishable with the death sentence, but they have not actually killed anybody with that law yet. Or like, it's obviously terrible to be gay there. Also, American evangelicals did it, which if you bring that up, Bill Maher gets mad at you for blaming America for everything. But
leftists are not going around being like, we love that law. Neither is Mamdani. If you ask them about it, they'll be like, yeah, that's fucked up. And if Uganda was doing a genocide, people would be rallying around that.
Especially if the United States were also doing it with them. If the United States were being like, hey, here are some bunker busters, go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, not even just the U.S., every Western country. Every single Western country. So
they talk about January 6th for a bit. Their tone talking about the authoritarianism of the right, they're like sitting there laughing. Like the tone really changes when they talk about that. They're not so gravely serious. But then Bill Maher brings up the thing. Did you see the story where Gavin Newsom essentially went to an event in Atlanta and he was like, hey, I'm like you guys. It was like a black crowd. He was like, I'm like you guys. I'm stupid too.
I think I did see a headline, but I didn't look into it deeply.
Yeah, he was essentially
so off-putting.
He was being like, hey, I'm dyslexic, so I get it.
Oh, gosh.
And here is Bill Maher talking about that.
And, of course, I really feel for any politician because they're on like I've been on book tours. You've been on book tours. They're grueling.
Yeah.
It's similar to campaigning, I guess. You do so many events a day. And I don't think he's saying what they're thinking.
No.
But you can make the case because we are a country of bad faith.
So he didn't say the thing he said. He's just can we please have a little empathy for men on book tours in this country? For God's sake. Like, how long is this discrimination going to fucking keep up where you can't even say, hey, I'm also black, I'm an idiot too, on your fucking book tour without people being like, hey, that's kind of racist what you just said. And
the most discriminated group in the minds of Sam Harris and Bill Maher are white men accused of racism.
And that's like 3 minutes after they're like, how come the left doesn't criticize Mamdani for being a Ugandan citizen? Like, oh, we're such a bad faith country. 3 minutes after they're making the most. And earlier, Bill Maher, during the mayoral campaign, he had tried to make the case of like, people aren't worried that he's it doesn't make people worried that he hasn't renounced his Ugandan citizenship. And it's like, no, man, it makes going through immigration way easier. You want to go see your family. Like, customs is annoying. And then we get 2 more ads. There are at this point 6 ads that have come up. They come back from the ad. And then they start complaining about getting clipped out of context. And I'm like, they sound like Hassan Piker here. Like, this is the kind of thing Hassan Piker complains about, getting clipped out of context. And it's just like, guys, shut the fuck up. Like, this is the best you can do. This is how you're being discriminated against. You're getting clipped out of context. Oh, and it's because they're talking about how unfair it is that Trump was taken out of context after Charlottesville.
Oh, the good people on both sides. That's also a Sam Harris favorite talking point, and it's been debunked so many times.
That was a decade ago. Like, they're hung up on a thing that happened a full decade ago.
Yeah. Sean, I believe, the YouTuber, did a whole video on just that or something. And Sam Harris, who claims to be one of the biggest critics of Trump ever, but then defends Trump against every accusation of racism or whatever he can defend him against, is just still so mad about it that the left claimed that Trump was praising Nazis at Charlottesville. It's just so exhausting.
And then Bill Maher gets into his. So now they're moving into Trump, and is there? Oh no, okay, we're not getting there yet. I'm incorrect. But here is Bill Maher brings up one of his favorite things: being accused of Trump derangement syndrome.
Because his whole thing was Trump derangement syndrome. That I don't have Trump derangement syndrome, which this is very apropos example of. If you can look at that, find people on both sides statement and look at the truth of it, and say, as we are saying about him, you can't get him on that.
Yeah.
Then you don't have Trump derangement syndrome.
I would say if you ever care if someone accuses you of having Trump derangement syndrome, you have actual Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah. Why would you care about that?
Like, he talks about this so much. He is always talking about this kind of shit. He's like, he's always talking about how his new best friend, he's like, I'm harder on him than anybody. Nobody's harder on him than me. I have a clip of him later being like, I criticized him so much already that I'm bored with criticizing him. Let's move on from that.
This is why they get along so well, right? Because they're on the same page of so much of this, except Bill did go to dinner with Trump, and Sam Harris is still quite salty about that.
I have too many clips from that because it's so funny how fucking mad Bill Maher gets. So then Bill Maher accuses the New York Times. He's like, oh, of course they run. He's like 80 to 90% of the people in Iran are happy the Ayatollah's dead. But of course, the New York Times runs a photo of, people mourning him because they want to have people to have the opinion that the war is bad. And he's like, and that's what they do now. They didn't used to do that in journalism. And it's like, my man, the New York Times helped talk the country into the Iraq War. Famously, notoriously, that happened.
And they're still apologists for whatever American empire does. Like, overall, sometimes they will be critical of Trump, but overall, all U.S. media is.
Yeah, they had that. They ran the story about the doctors in Gaza being like, we all independently have evidence that the IDF is specifically targeting children. Like, we have photographic evidence of children being, dead center in the head or dead center in the heart. These like kill shots, all independently. And the New York Times ran it as an op-ed instead of a reported story. Like, even when they report on something, they still do bullshit like, well, we'll put it in the op-ed section. Even though when people were like, we don't think this is true, the Times went, no, we verified it's true. They have evidence that it's true. It's like, well, then why didn't you just report it as like a piece of reporting?
Exactly.
It should be a front page story, but they're like, no, we'll put it next to that fucking Ross Douthat, that fucking Francoist weirdo we've been publishing for 40 years. Also, Sam Harris says, they're talking about the war, and Sam Harris says that we could have ethically crushed the Iranian regime at any point since 1979.
Yeah, he loves.
Why didn't we? And why aren't we now then, if that were true?
So what Sam Harris has a problem with in regards to Trump is that he does this shit too openly. He's fine with all these actions, but he doesn't like the optics. So he put out this, he puts out like pictures of his own like quotes on his Instagram page, like
Oh, no, come
like
on. Like a stand-up
white
comedian?
like white text on a black background and like Sam Harris underneath. And one of them was like, the wrong people are doing the right war for the wrong reasons. Sam Harris.
Man, shut up.